Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I hope you're doing so very well. Today is a late TBR Tarot because this has been a month, guys, like a month that I wish never happened. So this is late, but I am still sticking with it because obviously I have a game, I have points, so if I skip a TBR video then it gets real confusing even for me. So I'm sorry this is late, but I'm doing it and that is the main thing. So this is going to be my wrap up for my May TBR Tarot and my June TBR, so if you're interested, stick around. I will just say and apologise in advance if you hear any background noise. It's because there is people in the house and that is where it's coming from. So I do apologise in advance if you hear any of that, but there is not much I can do, so I am sorry, but it is what it is and we're just gonna go with it. The first book that I read was for Top Priority, and for this I read In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I gave this a 3 stars. I enjoyed this more. I gave it a 3.5, sorry. In this we follow Nora, who gets invited to Claire, her old friend's hen party, and they haven't talked in 10 years, so Nora's like real confused as to why she's invited, but nonetheless she decides to go, and things start getting like really strange. Like they're in an isolated house, like with people she doesn't know, and like things start getting spilled, secrets are kept and secrets are revealed. I enjoyed this more than The Woman in Cabin 10 because it was more thriller. Like it's still to me more mystery than thriller, and I feel the same like with Cabin 10. It's more mystery than thriller, but this amped up the thriller vibes a bit more, which is why I gave it a 3.5 star, because I just enjoyed the more thrillery aspect. I feel like Ruth Ware is an author I really want to love, but I just don't know. Like all of their books are really enjoyable but not favorites, so I'm kind of vibing with the middle of the road thrilling 3-star reads at the moment with Ruth Ware, but maybe that will change the more I read from her, because I have only read 3 books and this is the 3rd one, so hopefully the more I read there is a potential favorite thriller amongst them. But yes, I read this, which takes my total from 17 points to 18 points, and people, I can tell you, I'm going to spoil it, like, I read enough books this month to get 20 points, which means I get a book haul, and I've already bought books because as soon as I finished my book that gave me the 20-point mark, I went on a huge book haul, and I have like over 30 books to haul. I think I'm going to split it into 2 parts, but there's also that to look forward to. So if you're interested, subscribe, hit the bell so you can see what books I bought. Game approved and not breaking the ban. So yeah, I'm so excited for that. But this brought me up to 18 points. Next was another top priority read, and for this I went with Caitlin and the Highlander, and this was my buddy read with Sefi over at Whatever Reads. They will always be linked down below if you're interested in any of their content. But I really enjoyed this. In this we follow Caitlin, who is down on her luck, and she's just moved back home because she needs a fresh start when, oh god, I keep thinking it's Jamie, but it's not Jamie from Outlander. What is his name? Okay, I will put his name on the screen because I've completely blanked on his name. But a roguish Scotsman comes and whisks her off her feet, essentially, but she is real confused because he is not of this time, shall we say. He is very traditional, and I will say there was a few things in this that made me roll my eyes, but it was fun. It was a fun kind of romance, time travel, not very intricate in like detail, but this is a 16-book series, so it probably could get to the point where like the time travel and the details need to be like better built and more information needs to be told. I have hopes that this would be a good series, but I enjoyed the first one. I gave it 3 stars. It was fun. I liked the characters, and I definitely think that I'm going to continue on just for the fun of it. But very, very Outlander vibes, just in the opposite direction. Like Claire goes to Jamie's time, whereas it's kind of like in Caitlin and the Highlander, Jamie goes to Claire's time, but really it's our time. So it's like someone, it's really like a Scottish rogue from the 1700s comes back to like 2013, 14, and it's a good fun, and I do recommend it if you're looking for something fun, fast-paced, and romantic in every sense of the word. Next was a book with academia, and for this I went with Confessions by Kane Minato. This was the Literally Dead book club pick for the month of May. Yeah, May. And I gave this a 3 stars. I don't know, I've been getting a lot of middle of the road books. I did enjoy this. This was good. I just, like, the way that it was written kind of threw me off a little bit. I felt like there was a lot of repetition. In this, we follow Yoko, who her daughter has died, and she knows that it's one of her students that was the cause of her daughter's death. So she plans revenge. And let me tell you, the author of this is a teacher, so if you're a student of this author, don't fuck with your teacher, because this is dark. This is some dark shit. But it was good. I did enjoy it, and the ending was really well done. I just think the way that it was written, because it's written a chapter per person, I just think it kind of threw me a little bit. It felt slow and repetitive. Even though I enjoyed it, it's not something that I would return to. And I think that this author does have potential because of the way that I enjoyed the story. I just don't think I enjoyed the way the story was written, and the way we got a different POV every chapter, and because of that there was a lot of repetition on things that character was just finding out. It made the book a little bit slow, even though it was very thrilling. So yeah, like, this is dark and thrilling, so if you're looking for that, then I recommend it. But like, just the format wasn't for me, the way that it was spaced up on chapters and POVs wasn't for me. But I did enjoy it nonetheless. It was a 3 stars. It was fine. It was okay. I am interested in what everyone else thinks for the book club discussion, and that's happening soon, so I'm really excited for that. Oh, I completely forgot. Caitlin and the Highlander brought my points to 19, and with this, it brought my points to 20. So, well done me. I get to haul books without feeling guilty about breaking the book buying ban. I have already hauled books, as I said, because I have no self-control, and as soon as I realised I had 20 points, I went a little overboard on buying the books. But every book that I bought, I'm really excited for, so that is the main thing. Even though I have no room for them on my shelves, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out, okay? And lastly, I had, for a beautiful cover, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I'm so sorry, I completely botched that. I'm actually currently reading this. I am only like 50 pages in, but I'm counting it. Like, I'm not counting it as a point. This does not count as a point, which is fine, but I'm not counting it as a punishment because, like, I'm reading it. So far, I'm liking it. It's taken me longer because of the language used in this, because it is a classic and I don't read much classics. But I am definitely going to continue this and see how I feel about it, and I will come back and tell you my thoughts once I finish it. So lastly, I had punishment last month, which was to read Lady Midnight, and I did not read this. And I'm not going to give myself a punishment for not finishing a punishment. And also, I'm not going to give myself a punishment because the month of April and May was really hard for me, like personal things. And I don't feel like punishing myself for something that I couldn't control. Like, it's been a hard time, and I'm not taking a punishment for not finishing my punishment because, like, I'm not doing it. Why am I justifying myself? I'm just not doing it. I'm also not unhauling this. Like, I know that, like, this kind of defeats the purpose of this punishment because it was read it or unhaul it. But the thing is like, I would have either read this if things hadn't happened in the last couple of months. then I either would have read this, and then I would have, if I didn't read it, I would have unhauled it, because there would have been no reason as to why I couldn't have read this. But there's reasons that I didn't read this, and I'm sticking with that. So I didn't read my punishment book, but I am not going to unhaul it. I still am going to give this a second chance, because like I have the whole trilogy, so like I feel like this is the right move to make. I'm also not taking a punishment for like not completing my TBR, because technically I've completed 3 books. I'm working on the 4th one. It's almost complete, and I don't count punishments as not completing TBRs. So this will hopefully come up in a vlog at some point when I do get to it, which I'm hoping will be soon, but so far I'm not unhauling it. I'm gonna quickly run through some of the books that I got to that weren't on my TBR, because like magically I managed to read a lot more books than what I thought I would. I kind of, because like things have been hard, I used it as an escape, and instead of like sticking to the TBR, which I kind of did, I just mood read, which really helped me deal, which usually does. Reading for me is the best form of escape. So the first book I read was Five Little Liars by Amanda K. Morgan. In this, we follow 5 students who are in a summer class, and their teacher ends up dead. This was a 3-star read. I did enjoy it, and I feel so bad because this gave me One of Us is Lying vibes, but written better. Like, I don't know how to say that and not sound like a dick, but this was written better than One of Us is Lying, but it's very similar. And this book came out before One of Us is Lying, and I can see that maybe there's some comparisons there on how the way that they're written. I feel really bad because I gave One of Us is Lying a 5-star, but I gave that a 5-star like 5 or 6 years ago, and I know that if I reread it now it would not be a 5-star. So I feel really bad giving this a 3-star when One of Us is Lying is sitting at a 5-star, and they're very similar. But yeah, like One of Us is Lying is a 5-star for like 6 years ago, Shannon, but it's definitely a 3-star for now. But this was a 3 stars. This was also on my self-destruct, which I'm happy I got to knock one of them off. I will be unhauling this, and like I'm not going to reread it because I've read it and it was just fine. So this is going to get unhauled, but I'm glad that I was able to knock this off my list. Next, I have Dime Store Magic by Kelly Armstrong. This is the 3rd book in the Otherworld series. I gave this a 3-star also. See, just like the month of middle of the road reads. The thing is, this is a 3-star with the preface of I enjoy this world and I enjoy the characters, the writing. This is a fun 3 stars for me. Like, when I go into these books, I'm not looking for 5 stars, amazing, spectacular. I'm looking for a fun time. So like 3 stars with the preface of I had a ball reading this. This follows Paige Winterbourne, and she has the privilege of looking after a teenager that is not hers, because the teenager is a witch and coming into her power, and she doesn't really have any family that could help her. But Paige is a coven leader and takes this responsibility on, being only 23 or 24, I can't remember how old she is. And with this comes a lot of problems, because Paige has one family member that wants her power, and it's her dad, and he is like not a good guy. Also, in the previous books, there was like a telekinetic person that wanted to take Paige and use her for her power, because Paige's mum was a dark witch and she was strong, and Paige also shows that same ability to be so strong. So like this follows so many people, because like in the first 2 books you get Bitten and Stolen, which is like a werewolf story, and then in this and the 4th one, Industrial Magic, we get Paige's story, which is like witches, but they all come round in like a roundabout way of like being together, friends, all in the same underworld of paranormal creatures. And I just have so much fun with these. They are really fun. And also, like, I really enjoy reading these mass market paperbacks in this like books. I don't know why, but like I'm not a huge fan of mass market paperbacks, but when it's like the series, it just gives me so much satisfaction how small they are. And yeah, like I just think they're cute and I really enjoyed this. Next, we have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I gave this a 4.5 star. I really enjoyed this. In this, we follow Chloe Davis, whose dad was a serial killer, and it's 20 years later. She's still coming to terms with the traumatic experience of her childhood and realizing that her dad kills teenage girls. Then murders start happening again of other teenage girls, and they're all revolving around Chloe. I like this so much because it delves deep into trauma and mental health and like how help doesn't always help. I really enjoyed the nuance of the story and the undercurrent of trauma changes people, but it also can make them stronger, can make them more vigilant. And in this, we have Chloe, who is very traumatized by her childhood, but also becomes this strong, brave woman who takes life in her own hands. I think this was really well done. It's more psychological thriller than like scary thriller, but I think that it was handled really well because obviously there's a lot of talk of mental health. And I highly recommend this if you're looking for a good psychological thriller that really delves deep into trauma and what happens to like mental health and a mind, because it's just well done. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with this. I would definitely pick up more from this author. And last but certainly not least, my only 5-star of the month of May was Medusa by Jessie Burton. This was great. This is myth inspired, obviously. Medusa lives on an isolated island and she lives with her sister. She was cursed by Athena, I think it was Athena, and that's how she became Medusa, and she's hidden from view. This is a very feminist take on Medusa. Perseus comes and lands on Medusa's island, and Medusa starts to think that maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if she seen him, but Athena's voice is always ringing in her head that, like, damn the man that lays eyes on you. So Medusa is very wary on being around people. This was lovely. I loved everything about it. The story, the artwork. Let me find some, because the artwork is just absolutely stunning. And I just really enjoyed this. It's definitely a feminine take on Medusa and everything that the myth stands for. I just loved this. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful story, and I highly recommend this. Now on to the cards I picked for June and what I will be reading for them. The first card I picked was to read a diverse book, and it has to be fantasy to get a point. For this, I'm going with The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Of course, this has been hyped so much. This is my buddy read with Sephi. I know very little about this because I've been avoiding everything because of the hype. And I know that it is whimsical and magical and follows like a found family kind of trope, and I want to read it so badly because obviously everyone loved this. Everyone says it made them like so happy, and some people even cried. So I want to go in not knowing much, which is why I'm not reading the synopsis. But this is a buddy read, and I'm very excited to share all my thoughts with Sephi and see how we feel about this, and also see if it lives up to the hype. The next card I pulled was to read a book that has been on my TBR for over a year. For this, I'm going with Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is Jordaline's Patreon book club read, and I really want to take part in that. So of course, this had to go on my TBR for this prompt. I think that I'm gonna enjoy this because it's dark academia. It's meant to be like thriller. So I'm hoping, I have high hopes. I know in this we follow Alex, who is accepted to Yale, and she then has to go on a mission to discover the secret societies hidden within this prestigious university. Like, that's all I need to know. And quite a few people that I have reading tastes that line up quite well really enjoyed this, and then a few people that I didn't think we'd enjoy this, loved this, which was very interesting. I'm very excited for it. I bought this when it first came out, but I felt bad that I like hadn't read the Shadow and Bone series or the Six of Crows duology, which I own. And I was like, I can't just go in and read the new release without reading their like backlist. But now I'm just like over that, and I'm just gonna put this on my TBR because it's a book club pick and I need to read something Leigh Bardugo, considering like I own 6 books by Leigh Bardugo and I've never read any of them. So this is going to be my first foray into Leigh Bardugo, which I'm scared, I'm apprehensive, but I'm excited. So this will be getting read in June. Next was to finish a book that I had already previously started. For this, I am going with Heartstopper by Tom Pollock. This was on my self-destruct also, so I'm knocking them off, go me. But this is like, I started it and I didn't finish it because I wasn't in the mood for it. But this follows Amy, who is a streamer on this app called Heartstream, and you hook up your head and all your emotions are available for someone else to stream off of, which is very interesting. And then one day she returns home and there's a woman standing in her kitchen with a bomb, and she has no idea why she's there, what she wants, and the story takes off from there. I am quite interested in this because I bought this when it came out, but like obviously picked it up, didn't really mesh well with it because of the mood that I was in. But I do think it has the potential to be a good read. I'm very interested in like the Heartstream aspect of it, because like the thought of being able to hook yourself up to someone else's emotions is very interesting. So I have hopes that I'm going to like this, but I'm going in with low expectations. So wish me luck. Also knocking it off by self-destruct, which feels nice. And the last card I picked was to read a most anticipated. And for this, I'm going with Mina and the Undead by Amy McCraw. I'm actually reading this right now. I am 126 pages in and I am loving it. In this, we follow Mina, and she hasn't had an easy life. She is going to New Orleans to visit her sister Libby, who she hasn't seen in a while. And when she gets there, murders start happening. And the murders are taking the motives of old folk stories from New Orleans, old murders that have been publicized in papers, and Mina decides that she wants to get to the bottom of it because she is caught up in all of it by finding someone murdered. This is so atmospheric so far, and I'm really enjoying the nods to all my favorite horror films. I'm also enjoying all the like diary entries, and all the characters, the cast of characters are so cool to follow. So like, I have hopes this is going to be a really good book. I am really enjoying it. I'm already reading it. So like, I hope that I come back next month and tell you that I love this. And lastly, it is the month of June, and Whateverathon, the readathon, is a thing. So I'm going to leave link down below Jordaline's channel, because obviously book club picks and like Jordaline's amazing, fabulous, great. So you should like go check her out, which if you haven't already, I'm surprised and shocked. So please do that. Also, I will leave link down below book browsing blog, which is Maddie, the creator of the Whateverathon. There is still time to sign up and join in. So I have some books here that I would like to get to for the Whateverathon, but if I don't, it's fine. They're not on my official TBR. So I'm just going to run through them really quickly. First, I have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is also the Patreon Smut Club pick for Jordaline's Patreons, and I'm looking forward to this. This was a pre-order for me. I wanted some little romantic vibes, and obviously people that love books are my kind of people, so that's all I needed to know before pre-ordering this. I'm very excited, so hopefully I'll get to this, which is what I'm going to say about all of these. Next, I have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, and obviously you've probably heard about this. This is very hyped, and I'm scared of the hype, but I'm also excited. I need to know why it's so hyped. This is also a host favorite. I can't remember, I think it's Becca's or Ashley's, I can't remember. This is a host favorite for Whateverathon, so it knocks off a couple of prompts, and I'm hoping that it's a fast, like, high-paced read. But yeah, like, I will let you know if I actually end up getting to this, and I'm excited for it nonetheless. Next, we have Hide by Kirsten White. This is the Literally Dead book club pick for the month of June, I believe. This is a lot shorter than I thought it would be. But yeah, this sounds so good. Again, another pre-order, a carnival where you have to, like, stay alive or stay hidden. Well, a carnival you have to stay hidden in to win a prize, but then people start dying, so it's a carnival you have to stay alive in. Sign me the fuck up. Sign me up. I would do this. I would, like, I'm a scaredy cat, because, you know, anxiety, but I would do this. This seems like a very achievable thing to win some money, apart from the death, of course. But, like, it's fine. I'll just be a final girl. Like, we love it. We love to see it. So I'm hoping that I really enjoy this, and I'm hoping it's a lot of fun with hidden mayhem murder. And the last book I hope to get to is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and the amount of times that I call this In My Knife I Hold a Dream is unbelievable. I have no idea why it gets twisted in my head, but it very much does. I first seen this on Books and Lala's YouTube channel, and it sounded really good. Thriller, mystery, sign me up. I'm good to go. I don't want to know much because, again, thriller, mystery. And also, like, I've heard little tidbits from people that have read it recently, and that's enough for me. I want to go in fairly blind so that I can get the full enjoyment out of this, and I hope I love it just as much as everyone else did. Also, though, I've seen a few people that didn't like it, so, like, that's only recently come out, people that haven't liked it. I feel like I've seen more people like it than not like it, but now I'm like, I need to read it before more people start telling me about it and my anticipation goes down. So hopefully I will get to this. So this is it. This is the 8 books I hope to get to in June. I'm going to put them down because I don't want to work out today, okay? I don't want to do it. So that is everything I have for you today. My May wrap up, my June TBR Tarot, the books I hopefully want to get to for Whateverathon. And let me know in the comments if you've read any of these or if you're reading any of these. Let me know some of your thoughts, no spoilers, please and thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend. Whenever the hell you're watching this, remember to stay your badass self and stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Pick it up from the top, hit restart. So far it's been so